Okay, hi everyone. So today we're going to go through this question and answer. This question is called Who is a Director? Main reason why we're going through this question is because we got asked by a client who can sign on this document because it says director. And then the client actually asked us what's the definition of a director. So as always, right, because if you're a Singapore company, then you are governed by the Companies Act. And this is what we do. So that means that if our clients ask us to do something, and then the basis of why I do something or my colleagues do something, right, is that we always refer back to the relevant statute. So in this case, right, is the Companies Act. So you refer to the Companies Act, and in Section 4 of the Companies Act, right, the definition of director is there, and it states that the director includes any person occupying the position of a director of a corporation by whatever name called, and includes a person in accordance with whose directions or instructions the directors or the majority of the directors of a corporation are accustomed to act, and an alternate or substitute director. So in this Section 4 of the Companies Act, this definition, right, you can break up into three parts. So the first part, right, is any person occupying the position of a director of a corporation. So this definition, right, how we read it is that if let's say I look at a business profile of the company, and then if the person who is listed there as a director, right, that person is a director of the company. Okay, so this one is quite simple. So a lot of times people say, oh yeah, I'm listed as a director of a company, so I'm a director. Yeah, so then that is the definition of a director. Then next, right, is a person in accordance with whose directions or instructions the directors or the majority of the directors of a corporation are accustomed to act. So what happens is that if let's say this person is not a director of the company, but it is his or her instructions that the directors of the company are acting in accordance to. That means let's say I don't want to put my name as a director of a company, maybe I put my friend's name, but my friend is not actually the director, but I instruct my friend, you do this for me, you do that for me. Then actually, even though my name is not listed on the business profile, right, but based on Section 4 of the Companies Act, right, I am also considered a director in accordance with the Companies Act. Okay, and why this is important is because the duties of a director, right, are listed in the Companies Act as well. So this one, right, I think I've touched on it also. So once you become a director of a company, right, you will be bounded by the duties of a director. So it's important to know who is the director for starters. Okay, and then the last one, right, is an alternate or substitute director. So in this case, right, if let's say the director is not around, and then ask someone to take over his position for the time being, right, then that person is an alternate or substitute director. Okay, what this means is that actually the second one, right, this one is very important. Okay, because there are a lot of people who say, okay, I just put my friend's name and then he'll be director, and then I will maybe run the company from behind. So in essence, right, even though your name does not fulfill, even though you don't fulfill the first criteria of a director under Section 4 of the Companies Act, right, you will actually fulfill the second one. Okay, so in this case, right, a lot of people tell me, oh, then you mean the person whose name is being borrowed, right, is not a director? No, the person whose name is borrowed, right, is the first one. Because that person, even though he's not actually doing anything, right, but because he is any person occupying the position of a director of a corporation, that person is also a director. Okay, so the director is bound by duties, and then the director acts on behalf of the company. So like in most cases, right, you need to know like what's going on reasonably. So like for example, if let's say like maybe you have a case whereby there are maybe 4 directors, then one of the directors, right, goes and does something and purposely hides this from the other 3 directors, right, then it's arguable that maybe there's no way that the other 3 can know, or something like that. You get what I mean? So it's not that you become a director then you are bounded by everything, but when you become a director, the duties of a director are there. So whoever is deemed a director under the Companies Act, right, will have the duties of the director inside the Companies Act. So I think I touched before on the duties of a director previously as well. So yeah, so that's a director. So in essence, right, even though your name is not listed on the business profile, you may be deemed to be a director under Section 4 of the Companies Act. Okay, based on this definition. Okay, so if you guys want to know where the Companies Act is, please you should know your Companies Act properly, because you guys are running Singapore companies. So you should just go and Google search, Companies Act Singapore, then you bring you to the Singapore statutes online. They can download the Companies Act and take a look. Okay, so any questions, right, you can contact us. These are our websites and our email address. That's all from me. I'll see you in the next video.